So, Nuketown 24/7 dropped a few days ago in Black Ops 6, and obviously there were a lot of people that were excited about it and were playing non-stop Nuketown 24/7 all weekend long. But for me, I pretty much played it a few times and then just moved on to the regular playlist because I've been playing on Nuketown for 14 years. It's been a part of every Black Ops game, so this is Black Ops 6, so it's been a part of 6 different Call of Duty games, and I've reached the point where I've just had enough. And don't get me wrong, I loved it in Black Ops 1. And I couldn't get enough of it back then in 2010, 2011. And even in Black Ops 2, when it was brought over there, I enjoyed it. I also like how they kind of redesigned the aesthetic of the map, so it kind of felt a little bit different, even though it was the same map, but adding some new flavor to it was nice. And even in Black Ops 3 as well, I didn't mind having Nuketown in there. And I liked what they did with the wall running and the whole futuristic sci-fi aesthetic that they put into the Black Ops 3 version of Nuketown. But then when we got to Black Ops 4, I was like, okay, I think enough is enough at this point. Like, I'm never going to say that Treyarch should not put Nuketown in future Black Ops games or whatever games that they're going to be making from here on out. I'm never going to say that because Nuketown is just such an intrinsic aspect of the Black Ops series and of Treyarch Call of Duty that I'm not going to go as far as to say that they should remove it and not have it in there. But I'm just saying as a personal preference and just talking about me as a player, I really just don't care anymore. Like with Black Ops 4, I didn't care. With Cold War, I didn't care. And with Black Ops 6, I absolutely don't care, especially since they just like brought back the original design of the map. I wish they kind of changed the aesthetic a little bit like they did with Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. With 4 and Cold War, they also kind of didn't really do much to change the appearance of the map. So I guess that's kind of a bit of a nitpick. Yet when I'm overexposed to the same map over and over again, especially like, because whenever Nuketown comes up, it always wins. I have never witnessed a single moment of time where Nuketown comes up during the map vote and it loses to a different map. Nuketown always wins. So I think it's kind of overrated in that aspect because people, if they have a list of the top 5 Call of Duty maps of all time, Nuketown is most likely going to be in like the vast majority of people's list. Shipment also, because people just like simple tiny maps where you can get a bunch of kills and it's chaotic and it feels like Call of Duty at its best, and what Call of Duty is meant to be is just chaotic fun, right? So I understand that, and I understand why people love these really tiny maps, and I don't hate the tiny maps. I just think, like, if I'm gonna, like, speak honestly, I wouldn't even put Nuketown in my top 5 maps in Black Ops 1. Never mind all of Call of Duty history. Yeah, I'm looking through the list of maps right now in Black Ops 1. WMD was definitely a better map than Nuketown. Villa, I wouldn't say Villa. Summit was better. Radiation was better. Launch was better. Jungle was better. Havana was better. Hanoi, no. Grid was definitely better. And Firing Range, absolutely. And then there's Crisis and Cracked, which we're not going to talk about because those maps, honestly, they're not horrible, but they're not very good. Definitely the worst maps in BO1. But then when you get to like the DLC stuff that they were cooking back then, Berlin Wall, Kowloon, Stadium, Hotel, Convoy, Stockpile, oh, I would take any of those maps over Nuketown in a heartbeat, with a few exceptions, obviously. If we're talking about a 1v1, Nuketown is definitely hands down the best map in that regard, like in all of Call of Duty. But like, I won't argue against that. Also, party games like Sticks and Stones, Gun Game, Nuketown is one of the best as well. But as far as like regular core 6v6, it's just it's a little bit too much for me. It's a little bit too small for me. And that just comes down to personal player preference. But you see in this gameplay that I'm just like, bro, I don't want to fucking move around and run because I'm just going to get fucking destroyed. Like, I'm going to get shot and I'm not going to be able to, like, it's going to be a lot harder for me to maintain my KD when I'm out there and I could just get shot from so many different directions and the spawns are constantly flipping and there's just so much going on. I love Call of Duty for the fast-paced, arcade-type experience that it provides, but I think it's just way too much. It goes way too far with these tiny maps like Nuketown, Shipment, and a few others that we've had over the years. And even in Black Ops 6, the really small face-off maps, I don't like playing those at all. Like Stakeout, And I think in objective modes, Nuketown is horrible. Aside from Search and Destroy, which it could be fun, but I hate playing domination, headquarters, hardpoint, modes like that. Oh, fucking hell no. I do not want to play on Nuketown. But it is a solid map, though. It's a good map. I think it's just mostly overexposure for 14 years. If you're a younger Call of Duty fan, if maybe your first game was Cold War or something like that, you're obviously not gonna, you're gonna come at it from a much different perspective because you weren't exposed to it as much as I have been, and other people have been that have been playing since before many of you watching may have even been alive at this point. I mean, if this game came out in 2010, that's 14 years. There's definitely a lot of people younger than 14 that are playing COD. And I was one of them back in the day. I probably would like it better if it was 4v4 or 3v3. I just think 6v6, it's way too much. But it does provide a very unique experience. At least at its time it did, right? Back in 2010. There was no map like Nuketown that came before. Even Shipment was laid out very differently and played very differently compared to Nuketown. But yeah, I always be fucking chilling in that building. I don't want to fucking get fucking shot. I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to cook, I'm going to just, whoever pops their head out, I'm going to shoot them from a safe distance, because it's way too chaotic to actually play the game the way I actually want to play it. Most people, I think, honestly just play Nuketown because it's easier to grind camos, especially if you're playing, like, domination or an objective mode where you can get, like, a shit ton of kills. So I understand it from that perspective, and that's obviously a very important aspect of Call of Duty for a lot of people is unlocking camos and doing that whole grind. So, yeah, like, it should definitely be there, but being exposed to it over and over and over again, I just kind of have grown sour towards it over the years. I remember another example I can think of me just getting tired of playing the same map, Operation Metro in Battlefield 3. That was the map during the beta for BF3. I played it non-stop during the beta. Then by the time the actual game came out, I'm like, I do not want to play on this map. I want to play like any other map except for this. And even years after the game came out, I'm like, I'm sick of Metro. Like, I got tired of it. And it was always on the fucking rotation too. Like, you always had to play on Metro all the time back then. It was so annoying. And it's annoying too with Nuketown. That's the other thing that gets to me. If you have a 24/7 playlist of the same exact map, why do you need to have it in regular rotation? But hey, that's just me. Guess a lot of people would disagree. Let me know in the comment section, is there a map in any Call of Duty game or just any FPS in general where it's the most popular in the game by far, but you personally don't care much for it? I mean, I like Nuketown, but not as much as almost everyone else does, it seems.